All right, Mayor Eric Adams, mayor of my beloved city of New York, indicted today. Could he end up in a cell with Diddy? Was the mayor caught up in a Diddy freak-off thing? Is it something like that? I mean, no, it's nothing like that. Affiliation, maybe? No, it's not that. Let's talk. Let's get into it. This is the Time to Talk podcast. And this is the news on the indictment regarding Mayor Eric Adams from NPR. Here's the unsealed indictment, which was unsealed this afternoon, Thursday. For nearly a decade of Adams' political career, first as a borough president and then as mayor, the indictment alleges he sought and accepted improper valuable benefits such as luxury international travel, including from wealthy foreign business people and at least one Turkish government official seeking to gain influence over him. By smuggling their contributions to Adams through U.S.-based straw donors, Adams' overseas contributors defeated federal laws that serve to prevent foreign influence on U.S. elections, the indictment alleges. Adams is accused of using New York City's public matching fund system to compound his gains, with the indictment alleging that because of bogus claims, Adams' 2021 mayoral campaign received more than $10 million in public funds. Early in September, federal investigators seized devices from his police commissioners, schools chancellor, 2 deputy mayors, and other trusted confidants, both in and out of City Hall. All have denied wrongdoing. Now, let's look at the actual indictment. Let's just see what the counts are. Take a look at that. Mayor Adams is indicted. Federal charges. Count 1, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, federal program bribery, and to receive campaign contributions by foreign nationals. Count 2, wire fraud. That's always bad. Count 3, solicitation of a contribution by a foreign national. I believe there's 2 more. Yeah. Count 4, solicitation of a contribution by a foreign national. That's just the one we just... And then count 5, bribery. So... Now, some history. Adams here is the first sitting mayor indicted on federal charges. And, of course, he's putting his foot down. He's not going anywhere. You know, I'm not going anywhere. It's all bullshit, basically. All right. And that's always the case, right? Nowadays, they just sort of put their foot down. They play it, through straight defiance. Politicians don't do the graceful bow out or the disgraceful bow out even nowadays. They just go full on denial and defiance until they get kicked, dragged, kicking and screaming out. Well, we're going to see how this unfolds. I'll do updates here and there on this story as it becomes available. But what do I want to get into today? I want to get into a little Kamala Harris stuff. Have I been too much on Kamala? Let's get into Kamala Harris. Let's talk Kamala. Kamala ain't black. Kamala is black. Doesn't matter. Do I care? What specifically do I care about regarding this subject of her blackness? It's time to talk. Let's get into it. By now, we've all know that there's been this controversy, right? Suggesting that Kamala Harris isn't in fact black. Most recently, Janet Jackson stepped into the racial doo-doo in a conversation with The Guardian, where she said the following. Well, you know what they supposedly said. She's not black. That's what I heard. That she's Indian. Harris's father's white. Jackson is quoted as saying, that's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days. I was told that they discovered her father was white. Of course, let's not forget David Muir asked Trump about his comments at the NABJ he asked during the debate, he asked him about his comments that he made where he insisted that Kamala was not black. First she's black, now she's not black. Right? Now, in addition to Trump, it's not hard to find many others who share in this conspiracy, which purports that Harris is simply pretending to be black or amping up her blackness when convenient to do so, depending on the crowd. Now, that last part, I'm going to say is obvious, right? Her adopting regional and cultural dialects in efforts to pander to a specific crowd has clearly been proven. She's done it. Now, is she the only politician to ever do that? No. So I kind of give her a pass for that. I really don't care. I mean, in her case, it's very obvious, but whatever. Beyond the fact that she fakes dialects and plays up her love of fried chicken, collard greens, hip-hop, and classic jazz albums, how does any of this even matter? Well, recently, my girl Candace Owens did some digging, did some research. Y'all remember what that is, right? When someone in journalism or the news or media personality actually takes the time to investigate a story and try to make some sense of the facts. That's what Candace did, and she came up with some stuff. She found birth certificates, death certificates of Harris's grandmother and did some digging into whether the woman in the photos that Harris published as actually, whether she was the right woman or not. And it went on, and Candace, you want to look at that, you can go ahead and her channel, check a look at that. But I think in the end, does it really matter? Do we really care? Now, this is not to take away from Candace's investigation and reporting. I applaud it. But I am much more concerned with the rest of the media simply not reporting on real data as it surfaces. Clearly, it seems that Candace did, in fact, uncover some truth. So again, I go ahead and take a look at that report that she did, and you'll see. But all that said, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to say it. Harris is black. I mean, let's just keep it real. She has an Indian mother and a black father. When I see her, for all this time, long before she even was thrown into this position, I saw her as black. I saw her as a light-skinned black sister. If I saw her back in the day, I saw those old videos of Montel Williams and Willie Brown. Whether I support her for president or not is relevant. To me, she's a light-skinned sister. She went to an all-black university. It shouldn't matter. There's a pride thing for the black supporters, black women supporters nationwide. They want her to be one of us, one of them, right? A black woman. But then on the flip side, the non-supporters who are wanting to take the time to brand her as not black are working to simply dismiss her as one of their own. In some way, they think that disqualifies her. It demeans her credibility, her value. But that to me is wrong. Because it's far easier to dismiss, disqualify, and totally disregard Harris as a candidate for the presidency simply by listening to her speak, looking at her record, and finding out what she stands for. Not whether she's black or not. So she's black. All right, moving on. I said what I had to say. Now, if you've been with me and you've noticed and you've watched, listened to the show, you know how I feel about free speech and how I loathe the current climate of suppression, censorship, shadow banning, etc., by the big tech companies and their government handlers. Well, I always wondered what was being done, who's going to stand up to it, who's going to bring all this to the forefront of the American consciousness, right? It's not going to be the legacy media by any stretch. Well, it turns out a very distinguished group of independent journalists, activists, media personalities, scientists, doctors, and more have band together for a rally to be held this Sunday, September 29th in Washington, D.C. It's called Rescue the Republic. You can go to the website, www.jointheresistance.org. And I'm going to be there. I'm looking forward to it. The esteemed list of speakers includes Russell Brand, my hyper-articulate brother from across the pond, Matt Taibbi, one of the world's greatest true, one of the old-school journalists and indie media voices, Tulsi Gabbard, Dr. Robert Malone, Colonel Douglas McGregor, Dr. Pierre Corey, Jordan Peterson, Jimmy Dore, love Jimmy Dore, Zuby, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., plus many more. It's from 12 to 7 p.m. in Washington, D.C. I will be looking to talk to many of these incredible people, and we'll, of course, put those interviews and all up on this podcast once available. In the meantime, it's a short one. Keep talking, keep debating, keep discussing and dissecting information, news, and opinions. Work to use various sources of information to formulate your own opinions and be in control of your life and your choices. I will see you on the next one. And if you haven't subscribed, do so now. Take the journey with me and keep the discussion going. Leave your comments below. Be sure to share, like, follow, and all that good stuff. I'll see you on the next time to talk. Peace.